Hello, and welcome to a brief presentation on designing resilient options for East Boston's waterfront, presented by the Boston Planning and Development Agency. The BPDA Climate Change and Environmental Planning Team's mission is to promote an active, accessible, and resilient waterfront and to advance climate-ready, carbon-neutral, and environmentally sustainable buildings. Today, we are going to discuss 4 topics: the project history, coordination with other efforts, the technical considerations, and how you can get involved. You may be thinking, Eastie is already resilient, and you'd be right in so many ways. But what this project is focused on is building greater resilience to climate change. Climate change is one of the greatest challenges and opportunities to face the city of Boston. And later in this video, we'll discuss some specific climate-related changes expected in East Boston. The goal of this project is to protect the East Boston waterfront and community from future sea level rise and coastal storm events. We'll do this through developing design options to advance shoreline protection measures. These measures will prevent significant flooding of East Boston's residential areas, public open space assets, and regional transportation infrastructure, while enhancing waterfront access and coastal habitat. The focus of the project is on 2 near-term critical flood entry points around Carlton Wharf and Lewis Mall, along East Boston's marginal street alignment. These have been modeled and identified in previous planning phases of Climate Ready Boston. These locations already experience nuisance flooding, but under sea level rise and projected coastal storm surges, they are gateways to further flooding damage inland. Under current coastal flood conditions, the project area already floods, and by 2030, with projected sea level rise, multiple flood pathways will connect along the East Boston Greenway with the potential to flood larger residential areas and significant public infrastructure, like the Maverick MBTA station. To create concepts and preliminary designs to make the East Boston waterfront more resilient, we're building off of community engagement and input, climate vulnerability analyses, and resilient design strategies developed through the Climate Ready Boston Report in 2016 and the Coastal Resilience Solutions for East Boston Report in 2017. For example, you may remember these conceptual designs informed by East Boston stakeholders and residents during previous Climate Ready Boston planning processes. The project will also analyze site conditions along with permitting and regulatory considerations to identify opportunities and constraints. For example, we'll look at soil permeability, how quickly water can soak through the soil, wetland delineation, locating key environmental areas to protect, environmental conditions, the quality of the land, and topographic surveys, precisely mapping elevations of utilities and key elements. After completing the site conditions analysis, we plan to develop 2 preliminary design concepts for each site, after which we will hold another community workshop to ask for feedback. Then we'll advance the preferred design to 30%. All of this will take place before June 30th, 2021. We're also staying coordinated. Other flood pathways and resiliency efforts are being explored through continued city planning efforts in East Boston, including the BPDA's Plan East Boston initiative and the second phase of Climate Ready East Boston. We hope you'll stay involved by following along on social media at Boston Plans on Twitter and Instagram. Also, please check out our website and sign up to receive updates. And we also hope you'll join us in May and June for 2 virtual workshops to help us collaboratively design options for creating more resilient East Boston. Thank you so much for watching.